Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, so today's video, we're going to talk about months of supply of housing inventory. This is based on a user comment that had data that was incorrect. So we want to make sure that everybody who watches the channel is educated and understands the exact historic numbers with months of supply.
Okay, so if you're new to the channel, no, we do not beat up on viewers on a regular basis.
We're not beating up on a viewer.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, and leave us a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So the comment essentially was, historically, there's only ever 1.5 to 2 months of supply, and now it was some large number of supply, and you're misleading everybody. And we for sure know that's not the case. So what we did is we went back and got the Fred data. Mm-hmm. This is the actual data, and it only goes back, unfortunately, to the beginning of 2019. So we'll show you this. Now, if you look back on this chart, we can see we've highlighted May of 19. It was 4.3 months. That's considered a normal market. As you look across each year, the level of supply kind of goes up and down, sort of cyclically each year. But you can see the overall trend of this is down. What's interesting is all the way on the right, it's down to 3.3. Now, this number was in November, which was 2 months ago. And we already know that the number of home supply has actually dropped nationwide because the total number of homes for sale have dropped nationwide. Inventory is down about 15%. So Juana, let's talk about this really quick. We have interest rates double what they were in 2019, more than double. But yet you would expect the number of supply of homes to be substantially higher than it normally is. It's still well below the long-term average.
Right. So whatever is happening in your market is not going to mirror this exactly, because remember, these are national numbers, right?
Yeah.
So please keep that in mind before you write us a comment and tell us that we're wrong about what's happening in your neighborhood. Yeah. We're not talking about your neighborhood. We're talking at the U.S. market as a whole.
Macroeconomics.
Yes. So, you fit somewhere in here, like the rest of us, right? And, to your point, Todd, yes, interest rates have gone up dramatically. They've doubled, in the last year, literally, and it's made an impact. But the impact isn't necessarily just to put pressure on buyers who can no longer afford homes, or who can no longer afford homes at the price point that they were looking at before, but it's also to give sellers pause, okay? So that means that seller who was going to purchase a home across town because they wanted to live there, or it's a bigger house, or closer to school, work, whatever, now they're thinking, well, I don't know about this because I've got a 2-point something interest rate or 3-point something interest rate, and I don't want to trade in for a 6-point something interest rate, so I might just stay put. So that is playing into the inventory numbers, right? And that's what we're seeing these inventory numbers that are low. They're low partly, like Todd said, because it's cyclical, it's the time of year, and partly because, like I said, sellers are kind of taking a step back going, I don't know about this. And lastly, because the overall body of homes available for sale has declined. We've talked about this before. We are looking at a lot of institutional homeowners, like hedge funds and that sort of thing. And these are not sellers that turn properties at the same rate that you and I would. And so these homes are tied up long term.
What's interesting too about this is we just found out that Blackstone has raised about another $5 billion. Mm-hmm. We'll do a whole video on this from the California Retirement Fund.
That's right.
To buy more houses.
Well, partly to buy more houses, they're going to use a portion of that money to pay back investors who are wishing to take some of their profits.
Okay, so there are people leaving the fund, mm-hmm. and these people will be buying their interest in the fund,
right?
And then some of the money, yes, will be used to acquire more houses,
right? So there's a division between money that's being used to exit investors and money that's going to be used to purchase more properties.
Okay, I'm going to throw up one last chart, just sort of put this whole thing in perspective to why this is happening. Okay, so what this chart is, this is the long-term number of total homes on the market. These are homes that are available to purchase, like on the market. And if you go back about 15 years ago, we had, well over 3 million homes, and now we have just over 1 million homes. And even now, with inventory as high as it is, it's already declining, meaning You think it's high because you look back to the middle of this year when it was really low, when it was 700,000 or 800,000 houses, but now it's up to 1 million, but it's already declining again. So there really has to be a substantial number of homes somehow have to come on the market. I don't know how that's going to happen, but until that happens, the supply of homes is going to stay low. This is probably the thing right now that I believe that's kept interest rates from completely wrecking the housing market.
Right.
The second thing I would put as my number 2 is the old interest rates.
Right. So the old interest rates, I think, are actually the key factor here.
Okay.
Because everybody who's got those low interest rates, they have much more manageable payments. And to even purchase their own house at the same price would cost them more money in monthly payments. And we are very accustomed to our budgets, particularly our housing budget. So the idea of our housing budget exploding is not appealing to most of us. So I think that's causing sellers to stay put and not upgrade to a bigger house or a different location in the same market.
Anyway, we thought the housing market, months of supply chart was interesting. Like I said, that they only started keeping data on this a few years ago. So we were able to get about 5 years of data and look at it. But certainly in 2019, it was not 1.5 to 2 months. It was quite more, and it's more than it is now, more months. Now, remember, this is national. It's certainly more in Vegas, and it's certainly a lot more in Vegas than it was a few months ago. But remember, inventory's already declined, and we're just going to see that months of this supply now decline at least until late spring of 2023.
Okay. Spring. I'll agree with spring.
Spring, yeah.
Okay. So if you like data, if you like charts, if you like real estate, if you found us interesting, entertaining, or in any way amusing, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video, leave us a comment. If you're new to the channel, please tell us where you're from and tell us what you think of the video. Do you like the length? Should we make it longer, shorter? Do you have a topic you want us to cover? We are more than welcome. You're more than welcome to leave us comments, and we try to respond to as many as we can. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.